Illinois Senate votes to raise minimum wage to $15 by 2025, a top Pritzker priority. Chicago. The voted Thursday to raise the state's minimum wage to $9.25 per hour next year and to $15 per hour by 2025, a big step toward giving Democratic government. Illinois minimum wage of $8.25 has stood since 2010, even as Chicago and Cook County have raised theirs. Now the bill to raise, if the bill becomes law, Illinois would be among the first states to approve a minimum wage of $15 per hour, a goal set by the labor-backed Fight for $15 movement. California will. Pritzker has made putting Illinois on that list his first legislative priority, and he could sign a bill before delivering his budget proposal February 20 if the House votes next week. That would be a high Today the state Senate made it clear that working families in Illinois deserve a raise, and they're going to get one, Pritzker said after the Senate vote. If you live in this is a long time coming, and we're not done yet, but we're closer than ever before, the governor said. The Senate has passed several minimum wage bills in recent years, but only one also has been approved by the House. Rauner vetoed that. This time, the Senate approved the bill on a 39-18 vote along party lines. It calls for I anticipate the Speaker will support the bill, Madigan spokesman Steve Brown said after the Senate vote. The bill's sponsor, Senate Majority Leader Kimberly Lightford, a Maywood Democrat who for years has been trying to raise the minimum wage, said that people who work full-time at the current rate fall below the federal poverty line. We're keeping people in poverty on a national level, she said. That is why you see Republicans in the Senate, none of whom voted in favor of the bill, contended that businesses would have to cut jobs, raise prices, or close. Plus, they said some Democratic lawmakers are trying to nearly double Illinois' statewide minimum wage to $15 per hour over several years, aiming to give raises to more than 1 million workers and an early victory to new Governor J.B. Pritzker. The state minimum wage has been $8.25 since 2010 despite Democrats' repeated "You guys keep talking about who's going to be helped," said Senior Chapin Rose. Democrats tried to brush aside concerns about job losses, saying that raising the minimum wage will boost the economy by putting more money in the pockets of the people who are most likely to spend it. And Pritzker Lightford said her bill includes provisions to address the concerns of small business owners and employers that hire a large number of teenage workers. It proposes businesses would be able to continue paying a lower wage to workers younger than 18 if they work fewer than 650 hours in a year. The minimum wage Still, top business groups have fought hard against the wage hike and have pushed for setting the minimum wage at different levels in different parts of the state. They contend the higher Chicago's minimum wage of $12 per hour is set to increase, when Cook County's also will increase, from $11 to $12. The county rate will. We are disappointed the Senate did not take the time to address ways to lessen the impact of an unprecedented wage hike, particularly on suburban and downstate employers, Rob Carr, president and CEO of the Illinois Retail Merchants Association, said in a statement. We will continue to state Republic. Will Guzzardi, members from every region of the state supported this legislation in the Senate because they know that no matter what community you live in, $8.25 is a poverty wage and that folks in their district need a raise, no matter if they're in Chicago or rural Illinois, he said. The Illinois Senate voted Thursday to raise the state's minimum wage to $9.25 per hour next year and to $15 per hour by 2025, a big step toward giving Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker. Illinois minimum wage of $8.25 has stood since 2010, even as Chicago.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.